beloved hearts, this is Anrita Melchizedek, and I wanted to share with you a little bit more about the 222 codes and what's been coming up during this Aquarian Gateway from February the 2nd until February the 22nd. I'm sitting in one of my favorite places here in Gordons Bay. It's called the Donnie Miller Trail. So I'll just share that with you for a moment so you can see this beautiful view that I am busy looking at right now. So this is my home, and this is a mountain that I like to walk on. It's called the Donnie Miller Trail, and yeah, it's just lovely to be out in nature and lovely to be in the mountains, and just such beautiful energy as well. Just a lot happening here, as it is in many places, with those new earth energies and frequencies, and just an absolutely lovely, beautiful place to sit and do one's meditations, or just go and connect with nature more deeply. Alright. So many of us are aware that the 222 codes and the sequences thereof, like the 22222, which was experienced on February the 2nd and February the 20th, these 5 consecutive 2s, and February the 22nd is 6 consecutive 2s. These light codes activating from within are really shifting our consciousness into entering into New Earth, with the integration, at least initially, of the divine feminine, the divine mother, and then of course the divine masculine spirit, but also the divine father energy. And how that's been experienced for each of us is of course depending on our levels of consciousness right now. But I wanted to share with you just an absolutely beautiful experience that I had yesterday, which was February the 20th. So I found it a very peaceful and quiet day, and just a very nurturing, loving energy. And as I was tuning in a little bit later in the evening, I got such a beautiful sense of the threefold flame that's activating for us also at this time. That beautiful love, wisdom, divine intelligence, and flame of will and power. And part of what I have been experiencing is a new way of integrating these beautiful ray frequencies that spiral forth from the cosmic heart of Mother, Father, God. And just understanding that it's photonic light frequency with particular qualities, sounds, energies, and overlighting of core groups that are holding the frequency and energy of those beautiful rays that in the, let's perhaps say that the structure of the old earth energies, we integrated more intellectually and then experientially. But it was always like these rays are coming from somewhere else rather than coming from within us. And so we experience everything slightly differently from New Earth, because it's all from within that we're activating. And the last few days I've just been experiencing just the threefold flame in all its magnificence, just activating from within and then moving around the body just as a purification flame. And within that, this beautiful violet flame of transformation. Many know this as the violet flame of Saint Germain. But this energy is essentially imbuing all the ray frequencies at this time, this violet flame. All ray frequencies activate through and within that. And so what we're doing is that we connect into the unity grid of divine love as the I am avatar consciousness. Some of our experiences come from that consciousness field of light, that unity consciousness grid, crystalline grid, and then are reflected in, and as the stargates, and some of those frequencies come from within and expand out. So it really just depends what we're experiencing through the quantum field in activating the heart frequency and just opening us into that next level of cosmic Christ consciousness. And this beautiful energy coming through from the gateway of the 20th of February was very much about the activation of the golden rose through the heart and thymus chakra. Also remembering, the more light that is activating and anchoring for us, the more it's going to be bringing up a lot of those false beliefs, judgments, patternings, conditionings, all that needs to be firstly surfaced, embraced, and loved within the loving heart. And this is really why this is such a powerful gateway, this Aquarian Gateway, from February the 2nd to February the 22nd, because we're moving so quickly through so many of those obsolete patterns and behaviors no longer needing to be experienced, by transcending it, by moving out of that frequency, fine-tuning the frequency, and moving into New Earth, or the 5th, 6th, 7th dimensional states of consciousness and beyond. But it really does come through the energy of that threefold flame of power, love, and wisdom in its own way, to not only accelerate that journey, but to open our heart, to come from the wisdom of the higher mind or universal mind, where the mind itself is connecting into the energy of the loving heart. And everything is done through the divine intelligence of the loving heart and the wisdom of the light of Mother, Father, God. And as I was tuning in and closing my eyes, the first thing I got is this beautiful sense of smell, which actually went on for several hours, and just the energy of the Sisterhood of the Rose, the Divine Mother, coming forward, and seeing and sensing this beautiful pink flame coming from within the loving heart and moving through the unity grids into and around the sacred earth. But it was really then the inner plane connection with all sisters on this beautiful sacred earth initially. And so we had the groups of the Divine Feminine, and it was just so much about the honoring of the Divine Feminine, as we were all wrapped in these beautiful pink flames that became the fire. It became like this pulsating fire around us, with pink and then amethyst, indigo, purple. So we have really that violet flame of transmutation, but it's now being energetically embraced and activating and opening the heart and moving deeper into the self-nurturing, self-love, self-appreciation, but also the appreciation and gratitude of not all that we experience, but all the beautiful people in our lives, and even those that we've had karmic contracts with, just appreciating and sitting in those places that may still be uncomfortable for us, as they're releasing particularly addictions, particularly old patterns, habits, and beliefs. So part of this then was the nurturing and loving of all the women in my life, and all the women that I have had every type of experience with, from the mothers to the sisters to the friends, and then extending it to the light family, and then from there to all women. And then as we were doing that in our circles upon circles of light, the men started to erupt. So then it was the honoring of the men, that they're forming the outer circles and simultaneously working with this beautiful pink flame, primarily on the heart chakra and the thymus chakra, and releasing the grief, releasing the pain, releasing the lack of in any area of our lives. And as the men started to join the circles, this beautiful pink flame started to become this golden rose, because the golden rose, this beautiful golden frequency, merges into the Christ consciousness aspects of ourselves, but it is the integration of our divine feminine and our divine masculine frequency and energy, as the Kundalini, if you'd like to call it that, or the pranic energy, is pulsating through the body, and the spine is coming online as the operating system of the body. And it was just such a beautiful physiological, experiential, very physical experience of smelling these beautiful flowers and scents, which I can really say I can't give the name of particular flowers to, because I was unfamiliar with most of those scents, but just absolutely beautiful, just feeling that deep nurturing love, and with that also connecting deeper into the inner plane ashrams, if we would like to call it, those beautiful divine Sisterhood of the Rose, Brotherhood of the Light members and councils that are really holding from that inner plane the frequency of these particular ray qualities that are also activating through and within the perceived dormant DNA. So it was a very, very beautiful experience, and just to show you what this gateway is bringing for us, it was like we just moved into that next level of cosmic Christ consciousness. And as we integrate the divine masculine, divine feminine within ourselves, our divine feminine being our fifth dimensional state of being in the ever-present eternal now moment, and the 6th dimensional state of consciousness or awareness being the integration, much more of that divine masculine. But it's also bringing up a lot of the timelines that we're needing to be cleared, as I expressed through the Atlantean and Lemurian gateways previously. And this is not only the fall in consciousness, we've had so many different falls in consciousness, but we're clearing this fall in consciousness, which is related to abuse and misuse of power. It's related to the clearing of our own pain, abuse from within, that's also extended outwards to reflect upon the sacred earth and what we're all clearing. And with that, deepening into our roles as initiates of light, if you'd like to call it that. From New Earth, we really just understand that these are experiences that move from one frequency and energy into another, but absolutely sometimes there are those challenges or perceived challenges to see how far we've come or how we can hold our consciousness at those particular levels as we start to, the light body DNA starts to create from within the programmings that we bring online for our experience of unity and love and the next level of our service work, simultaneously creating the physical body ascension. Every subatomic particle in the body starts to spin in that crystalline consciousness, and the crystals come online in the body, and it's just so many different levels of light bodies that we are starting to experience and run simultaneously along with these multidimensional timelines. So it's a very important timeline for us now, because there's 2 levels to that birthing. One is the birthing of our innocent magical child. That's what the golden rose brings. We also talk about that as the golden doorway. You know, as you move through that golden doorway in your loving heart, what does it show up for you? And this is also the merging. We talk about the golden rose galaxy of the divine masculine represented by the Andromedan galaxy, the divine feminine represented by the Milky Way galaxy, and just bringing those 2 into a new level of wholeness and balance. And the second level to that birthing beyond our innocence, that is birthing at this time beyond the embodiment of the soul light, is also the next level of our collective service work, of what we are creating together in community, in unity and love, and through the quantum field as the New Earth avatar consciousness of light. So I invite you to join me tomorrow. That's February the 22nd at 9 a.m. Pacific time, where I will be online, YouTube, and on our platform that you may like to join to share your questions with, and just to share a deeper sense of where we are energetically, and to offer you a beautiful meditation light transmission. So I look forward to connecting then. So big hugs, lots of love. Namaste.